One of the most commonly asked questions that we get regarding our Cane Corsos is what type of snacks do we feed them? And it's important for you to know that 100% of everything that they consume, whether it's their food or their snacks, we make for them. And so I thought, rather than just make a video cataloging all the different types of snacks that we feed our large dogs, I thought it'd be a little more fun to actually show you how we make each one. So this is episode 1 of a brand new series where we show you how to make very simple single ingredient dog treats. And honestly, this whole thing started because the treats at the store ridiculously expensive and, in my opinion, had very questionable ingredients. So it started off as a project where we wanted to feed our dogs, really great, stimulating, wholesome treats, actually turned into a side business for us. So if you're looking for a side hustle, you might want to stick around. Today's episode is all about dried beef trachea. Let me show you how to make it.
Here's our beef trachea, and for me, I have to go to the slaughterhouse to pick this up. I can't get it at any of our local butchers. I'm not entirely sure where you might be able to get your hands on beef trachea, but if you can get some, definitely a treat worth making. So I'm going to show you a couple different ways that you might want to process this. One is going to be, personal use. Your dog's going to eat it, no big deal. And then the other is perhaps if you're going to take this to market and you plan on selling it. So if you're going to take it to market, you're going to want to clean this up as best you can. Depending on your market, sometimes customers have a funny issue with, blood on treats and things like that. And so very easy to clean up. You're just going to remove everything around the trachea. There's a couple fatty pockets right there at the bottom. We're going to shave those off. And there is a very thin skin-like membrane, very, very thin, on the trachea. You could remove that as well. It just helps clean it up to where the end product is very clean, no blood at all, absolutely perfect. Let me do one more. So notice this piece that's sort of connected, that part right there. We don't throw that away. You could dehydrate that if you get the whole trachea. Our dogs absolutely love it. And once again, I am going to remove everything around the trachea. This piece we're processing to sell, but if this is, like I said, for your dog's personal consumption, all I would recommend doing is removing any of the fatty pieces. Leave everything else. Our dogs actually love that sort of extra meaty, bloody flavor that the dried trachea has when it's primarily uncleaned. But like I said, some customers have a problem with that. So this is being cleaned so that you could see what it looks like when we sell it. But at the very end of this video, you'll see what it looks like for our dogs. And we don't do any of this stuff. We literally just take off the fat and then dry the entire thing. It's very, very easy to process. This bottom piece right here, this is basically what we're looking for as far as the rest of the trachea. So we are going to go ahead and clean it up. This top section, generally I remove when it comes to selling the trachea, but for our dogs, we leave it on. It gets incredibly crunchy. It's very meaty. The dogs absolutely love it. At least our big dog loves it. And you could certainly dehydrate that piece by itself. At this point, I'm just going to go ahead and remove that thin little skin right there. You can see it comes off very easy. It's a little tedious to do, but the end result looks very nice, very presentable. Okay, there we go. So this is our cleaned trachea. What we're going to do now is take all of this and soak it in a little bit of water. I do have a little splash of vinegar in there just to help clean it up a little bit more. And what I'm going to do over the next 2 hours or so is I'm going to drain that water out and then add new water just to soak it a couple of times. And what's going to happen is any of that remaining blood is just going to be pulled away from the trachea into the water, and it's going to leave us with an absolutely beautiful product. And that's right there what it looks like. So this has been drained a couple of times. Notice the pieces look very clean. They no longer look bloody. And now I'm just going to cut this up into smaller pieces. So what I normally do when it comes to cutting this up is just cut the trachea in either half pieces or third pieces. I do like to have various sizes. So some people have big dogs and small dogs, and they do want, larger or smaller treats. And so we do like to have an assortment of sizes when it comes to that. But, you can cut them all up into one size. You don't have to cut them up at all if you don't want to. Once you've done all of that, you're now ready to start drying. Now we're going to be using the D10 stainless steel dehydrator from the sausage maker. This is a 10 tray dehydrator. Absolutely beautiful, works amazing. And we're just going to fit what fits on each tray. So in this particular case, this is all going to be cleaned trachea. And unfortunately, I can't get very many trachea at one time. So this is all I could get, within 1 week. And so I have to do what I have to do. And then next week, we'll do another batch. Let's go ahead and close it down and get the settings so that you can see what that's all about. On this dehydrator, we're going to set the timer to 24 hours. Now, I don't think it's going to take 24 hours. We'll normally check it between, 18 to 21 hours, something like that, and see where it's at. We're just looking for this trachea to be completely dried and very hard, very crunchy. As far as the temperature goes, we're going to move that temperature to about a medium high. That's going to bring the temperature to 145, 150 Fahrenheit. If you turn it all the way on high, you're going to be closer to that 150, 155 Fahrenheit. Turn it on and we'll wait. Now, these are the trachea that we've prepared for our dog. So these are not for sale. Notice they're barely cleaned. We're leaving the trachea intact. This right here is the part that was connected to the trachea, so we're just going to dry that by itself. That becomes its own treat. And if you notice, we're using our Smokin' It smoker. Now, what allows us to use this as a dehydrator is this little box right here. This is called the jerky dryer, and that just sits right on top of the smoker vent. We do have the smoker on, and I have the convection fan on full blast. Now, you don't need a smoker with convection. You can not have convection. We've got the temperature set to about 155, and that box draws that moist air out, allowing it to turn into a dehydrator. Very, very easy. Pretty cool unit, actually. The dehydrator trachea are officially finished. It's been about 18, 19 hours, 150 degrees. Nice and hard. I can tell you right now, this is perfect. And honestly, if I had the space, I would, collect several weeks worth of trachea. That way I could fill that dehydrator up. But here's what we got. Our finished product looks great. Very hard. This is such a good snack for your dog because it emotionally stimulates them. It's great for their teeth. It's a wonderful reward if you're doing a food-based reward program with your canine. And we need to go see what ours think about it. But before we do that, I wanted to show you what the finished smoker trachea looks like. This has also been in the smoker. Now, these were in a little bit longer. I want to say about 24 hours because we have that extra meaty part on the top part of the trachea. But look at that. Dried beautifully just as well. Oh, this is great. This is like the predator snack is what it is. I'm going to take one of each of these trachea. So we're going to do the smoker trachea, this large one here, and the smaller dehydrated trachea to see which one Titus likes. All right, here we go, guys. We're going to give our dog two choices. We're going to see which one he picks. I'm going to keep this one as a secret, see what happens. Ready? Sit. Good boy. Which one do you want? You want this one? Give it a smell. All right, what about this one? Boom. Oh, boy. You get to pick. Okay. Offered this one to her as well, but she did not want that one. She likes that smaller one right there. Dried beef trachea dog treats. Our dogs absolutely love them. Single ingredient, they're crunchy, they're beefy, they stimulate the dog. Titus will almost always pick the larger one, and it normally takes him about 7 or 8 minutes to finish off the whole thing. I don't give him a large one all the time, but on special occasions, he absolutely loves it. Where Beta, interestingly enough, will almost never pick the larger snack. She tends to get overwhelmed with those larger snacks, and she will almost always go for the smaller snack, which was about 1/3 of a trachea. Took her about 5 minutes to polish that off. Absolutely amazing. The dogs love them, and it's just one of many different types of treats that we feed our Cane Corsos. If you're not currently subscribed, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell, because in the next episode, let's see, what would we make next? Chicken feet, chicken necks? I'll tell you what, why don't we make bully sticks? In the next episode, I'm going to show you how we make bully sticks for our Cane Corsos. You're not going to want to miss it. Thanks a lot for being here. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.